All right, so today is going to be a business talk. So I'm going to be talking about business today. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business person, no matter what level or what scale you're doing business, you want to listen to this. But I must warn that this talk or what I'm going to talk about today would trigger some people, would make some people feel uncomfortable. So I must warn. But I want to have you know that what I'm going to say would really help you if you listen with an open mind. What I'm going to say it's quite uncomfortable for me too because it affects me, and a lot of people that will feel challenged by this are the introverts doing business. If you're an introvert doing business, you feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's not what you want me to say, and I can understand because I'm quite introverted too. I have a very strong introvert side to me, and so this speaks to me too. So I'm not saying this condescending or judging or without a sense of understanding how you feel. But I think it's important for us to know this. Does not just affect introverts, but also I realize that younger people doing business today also lack this particular quality I'm going to touch on. And I'm going to be talking about doing business shamelessly. Doing your business shamelessly. There's a difference between being shameless and being shameful. A lot of times we use them the same way. But to be shameful is a vice. To be shameless might not be a vice. You understand? It might not be a vice. You could do something shamelessly, depending on what you're doing shamelessly. If what you are doing shamelessly is bad, then it's a vice. But if what you're doing shamelessly is good, then it's a strong virtue. But shamefulness already means that what you're doing is bad and it brings shame, it brings dishonor. You understand? So shamefulness is about dishonor. Shamelessness, it's about not feeling insecure about doing something. Very important for us to note. So I want to talk about doing business shamelessly. And this is something that is very hard for the introvert doing business. I want to have you know that when it comes to doing business, the extrovert has a very large head start over the introvert. That's the truth. When it comes to doing business, the extrovert, someone who is extroverted, outgoing, social, you know, has a head start over you. It does. And so it's already an unfair thing. Business is already unfair to your personality as an introvert. Already unfair to your personality as an introvert. You need to know this. If you are in any business and you have an extrovert right next to you doing the business, that extrovert has a larger chance of winning more people to buying that product, engaging in their service over you because they are louder. They are louder, they are more consistent at doing it, and a lot of them are shameless. A lot of them are shameless. And so I think it's important for us to be shameless doing business. Gives a great advantage to business. I wouldn't lie to you about that. It gives a great advantage. I'm an introvert and I've seen it. I know. I know. Doing business as a graphic designer, I realize that there are so many people that do graphic design and they're not as good as I am, technically, not even half as good. They can't hold a candle to my technical skills, but they have more clients, bigger companies, more profit at the end of the day. And it all comes down to their social skills, their ability to talk with anybody, anytime, anywhere. Very important. Social skill, very important. I've learned to build my social skills more. And that's why a lot of people, when they look at me, they are confused. They're like, Mr. That's why I'm not too introverted. I am. I've just learned. I'm quite ambiverted, which my wife says, but I will still say that a larger percentage of me about 60 to 70% of me is introverted. You understand? I would rather be by myself, quiet, rather not have visitors, rather not have phone calls. You understand? That's me. That's the truth. I love my space. I love my personal boundaries. You understand? That's me. But that was hard for somebody that wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I remember when I graduated from school and I had this partner. We formed a company together. And at that time, Facebook had just started gaining ground in Nigeria, and people were getting on Facebook and stuff. And I was already doing design work, incredible design work, incredible poster design, flyer design, logo design. And a lot of it was conceptual work. They were not actual commission work. And so this my partner used to look at my work and say, "This your work is just so good. This is so great. This is awesome. This is awesome." And I was like, "Thank you," And I was just thinking, "Oh yeah, this work is good." And I expect clients to come based on the fact that the work is good. And one day I just woke up and I checked Facebook and I saw that I had like about 10 tags. Someone had tagged me, and so I realized that my partner had opened a Facebook page for the company and I had put up my work and he had tagged so many people. He tagged a lot of people in the industry, record label execs, business people, people that on a good day I would not step up to talk to in a social gathering. You understand? This were people that I thought many people do not have time to be looking at conceptual work of a young graphic designer, but he had tagged a lot of people. And I felt two things. I felt annoyed and I felt ashamed. I felt annoyed and I felt ashamed. And I was like, why do you put this work, putting the work out there is one thing, but why do you have to go and disturb these people? These people will wake up and just see tags to something they never asked for. And I remember calling him up and I'm saying, "Oh man, why now? Why did you put this thing up now?" And he was like, "We have to put this thing. They will never know." And I felt so uncomfortable. I felt so ashamed. I was like, let's just take this thing down. You can put it up, but don't disturb these people. These people are important people. You understand? They have better things to do. But do you know what? I realized that thing helped our business. Before we knew it, we got calls by some of these people. Some of them in the music industry saying, "Oh, I have this artist who wants to design an album cover." I'm telling you, that's how I got to do album covers for quite a number of Nigerian music artists then. I'm like, people reached out. That was my first experience with shamelessly doing business. The problem with us introverts is that we feel because it is good, people would come. We are satisfied with a like. See, a lot of people, I see them doing business today and extremely gifted, extremely talented, on to a good idea, but then you put it out there and satisfied with likes. But likes are not enough. To be honest with you, we need to go beyond the like. A like is easy. You must know that a like is easy. And it doesn't really show a person's true commitment to what you're doing or their true belief in what you're doing. A like doesn't mean that you're doing well as a business. It might mean to an extent that what you have is good, but is it good enough for purchase? A like doesn't tell you that. Likes do not matter. Likes do not matter in business. What matters in business is purchase. It's purchase. Very important for us to understand. You see, I just wrote a book. The book is called Inspire and Influence. It's an incredible book for anyone that is looking for identity and wants to express life in their true authenticity with audacity, courageously, shamelessly. You want to read the book. It's a great book. It's a great book. It's an easy read. It's not a difficult read. The chapters are short. The message is direct. It's relatable. I think you should get the book. If you're in business, whether you're an extrovert or an introvert, it's a great book to get. I wrote this book with a lot of help from my wife and two other designers, Abdubaki and Ike. And, you know, when I wrote the book, stepped back, realized the book is good. And I just expected people to buy the book by the virtue of the fact that I wrote the book and I said the good book was good. The first day I put the book up, I got so many likes, so many congratulatory messages. Wow, wonderful, congratulations, 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 likes, 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 likes. And at first I was happy. Oh, we're onto something good. So the first day went, so many likes, very few purchases. I think I had 2 or 3 purchases the first day. Second day, no purchase. I think it was one purchase the second day, one. And I saw that the likes started dwindling. And it occurred to me that these books cannot run on likes. People have moved on. People have moved on. And then I realized I have to put it out every single day. Like every single day was the first day I was putting it out. With the same level of excitement, with the same level of ginger, with the same level of encouragement of people to get the book. I had to put it out every single day. But I was thinking, if you put this thing out every single day, I'm not just going to be like almost spamming people and disturbing people. That was the introvert in me talking. But that would never allow the book sell. It's a great book, but I need to keep putting it out. For those that listen to the podcast, you realize I've been talking about it on most of my podcast episodes. I have, and I need to. The book is good, but the book will never sell if I don't shamelessly put it out there. If I don't shamelessly put it out there. And for a while, I've had to write some copy that is contrary to my person. You understand? Some copy that is contrary to my person. Copy that is telling people to buy. So I've had to show social proof that people are buying the book. So I'm showing receipts that people are buying the book. And I realized that people need social proof. Because ever since I started doing that, people have been engaging more. Shamelessly. You need to put yourself out there shamelessly. The world is too crowded and too noisy today for you to be introverted doing business. And I'm saying this, to be an introvert is a great thing. Introverts are great thinkers. We are very reflective. We are very deep. To be honest with you, I enjoy talking to introverts more than I enjoy talking to extroverts. Do you understand? That's the truth. It's unfortunate that those people do not talk that much. They withdraw a lot. It's a great thing. It's not a handicap in life. But it's a handicap in business if you are the owner of the business. If you're employed by somebody, great, you can be introverted. That's the truth. Because you have someone else engaging with the real world. All you're meant to do is to do the task expected of you. As long as it's not marketing, it's great for you as an introvert. It's great for you. In fact, if you hire an introvert to do a particular task, that is not marketing. You would enjoy the introvert. The person will commit to the job. Hire an extrovert to do a particular task that is not marketing. You might struggle with distractions from that person. So, but when you are the owner, you own the product, you run the service, it's a handicap. I'll be honest with you, to be introverted doing business or running business. So you need to sometimes go against that grain. You understand? Do that thing that comes to you in a less spontaneous way. It is not desperation. And that's the truth. There's a difference between desperation and shamelessly putting yourself out there. Desperation is willing to do anything that the client wants to make a sale. And where I said this might be a fuzzy line for some of you, I'll put it this way. To shamelessly put your stuff out there is to every day show up and say, this thing I'm putting out there, this book or whatever is worth X amount, is worth 100 naira, is worth $5, whatever amount you want to put on it. This is what this book is worth. And you tell people every single day, come and get this book. It's the best book. It will change your life. You will love it. Stuff like that. You put it out there every single day. That's shamelessly putting out there. That's not desperate. Desperate is when someone tells you, oh, this book can I buy for $3? And I no. Can you do 4? No. Can you do 3? Okay, 3. And then you start giving ridiculous offers where you're not even making profit anymore. They're saying, oh, buy the book and I would give you 5 more books from my library. You understand? Um, where it's now detrimental to the growth of the business just because you want to make a sale. I've seen people that do desperate business. They're like, it doesn't make sense anymore. You understand? So what you're saying is, whatever you want to pay, just come and pay for this. Whatever you want to pay, whatever you want to pay, just tell me, whatever. Or you start asking people how much they should pay for the book. How much do you think I should charge for? That's desperate. You understand? There's no control. You're leaving the control in the hands of other people. But we must do business shamelessly. We actually need to do business shamelessly. You see, I was watching a reel some days ago, and it was Fat Joe. For those of you who don't know Fat Joe is a hip hop artist, and in 2002 he had this monster hit called "What's Love." 2002 he released that monster hit record called "What's Love." He featured an artist called Ashanti and Jaru. It was a big hit. I remember I was in school when that song came out. My final year, everyone was playing that song. It was a cover of a song done by Tina Turner many years ago called "What's Love Got to Do with It," and the song was so big. And Fat Joe, I think about last year or early this year, was doing a podcast and was talking about the experience with that song. He said when he released that song, everyone was dancing to it. In the clubs, everyone was dancing to it. When it passed by by cars, they were pumping it on the radio. It was everywhere. So people liked the song. But it said this did not reflect in the sales. It says the sales were pretty low. And it says they were selling at most 5,000 units of the record. At that time, the streaming apps were not really strong then, so you had to buy physical records or listen to it on radio. So said they're selling 5,000 units per week. Now that's small, because what they invest in making, the record companies invest in making these records, is a lot. So 5,000 units, well, like, this was never going to get them to a place where they were going to be profitable. So he was very worried, but he realized that people liked the song. It was a good song. It was well made. That's why I keep talking about having a good product is not enough for people to engage. It is not enough. It is not enough. So he was troubled. So he told his wife, he said, what's going on? Here I am doing this song, going for shows, and touring with this song, and people are dancing and they love the song, but they're not buying. So the wife told him, you know what? The next show you go for, as you go on tour, I want you to perform that song with your shirt off. Say, take off your shirt. And I said, I can't take off my shirt. I can't take off. Look, I'm Fat Joe. I'm a fat guy. I'm a fat guy. I got love handles and stuff like that. I cannot. Say, take off your shirt. Take off your shirt. And I was like, I am not 50 Cent. 50 Cent has biceps, triceps, six packs. I don't have any of those. So he decided to do it. The first time he went out, took off his shirt. And he performed the song. And he said, people laughed. And it felt funny. It felt funny. Like, oh man, he's just jiggling around the stage. But see, people laughed. But it said the sales spiked. He said the sales of his record spiked. He said people went from buying 5,000 to 10,000 that week. And I was like, what's going on? And then he continued doing it, and it went to 15, to 20, to 25 a week. More than doubled. You see, people needed to go, liking was just the first thing. People needed to go from liking to laughing to connect with that song. That was the emotion they needed to go out and get that album. Said, oh, my Fat Joe is that guy. Oh yeah, I need to listen to that some more. And that evoked an emotion that they wanted to keep with them, that was beyond it was a good song. He had to shamelessly go out without his shirt. You see, for you as an entrepreneur, introverted, what is that shirt that you need to take off? What is that insecurity you have? Liking is not enough. Some of you need to go there. For Fat Joe, he had to add to his like laughing. So there's a part in the Bible where the Bible says, add to your this, add to your that, add to your this. What do you need to add to your likes? Yes, people like your product. It's good, looks good. Service looks good, sounds good. Idea looks good, sounds good. But what do you need to add to make people act? Fat Joe needed to add a little bit of humor. He felt uncomfortable, but after a while, he felt comfortable doing it. What do you need to add? Someone needs to add something. You need to think of what you need to add to what you're doing to take it to the next level, to get people to not just to engage in liking, but to engage in purchasing. Some of you need to tell more personal stories. You are too caged with your story. You are too cagey. You're keeping too much to yourself. You're like, I can't go to this dark place. What seems to be this place that I don't want people to know about. So you're keeping your brand squeaky clean and telling surface stories. Maybe you need to really go personal and really share that story that you've been holding to your chest and share it shamelessly. Maybe you need to add to your likes a little bit of tears. Let people listen to you and cry. And like, oh man, I like her product, but her story is so heart touching. I'm going to buy from her, man. This lady understands me. There's a preacher, Joyce Meyer. Joyce Meyer is a great preacher. She knows how to speak, a great storyteller. But you know what sets Joyce Meyer apart? For many years in the early part of her ministry, she used to teach Bible study. But then when Joyce Meyer started talking about how her father molested her as a child, she stood out amongst other preachers that could also teach and preach. People wanted to listen. It was an ugly story, but she went there. And people connected. People started attending her events. People started listening to her more. She made some people cry. It was ugly. I'll be honest with you. That's the first thing I heard about Joyce Meyer that just made me, okay, I want to listen to this woman some more. I've never been molested before, but it was interesting to me that this person came from such a dark place and can share it. And then I started listening and I realized that this woman was not just someone that was molested, she has an anointing. Do you understand? Maybe that same thing happened with Fat Joe. People laugh, the guy's such a fat guy, but after the laughing, they're like, oh, this guy can really rap. He's really good at rapping. And he's so confident. I want to buy his record. Makes me feel confident. Need to go the extra mile. Some of you need to be more social. Make more calls. Make more calls. I have a neighbor that sells, she has a poultry farm. So she sells chicken and sells chicken. She doesn't sell eggs, but sells chicken. She's much older than me. She's old enough to be my mother. Telling you, old enough. She has sons that are my age. But you know what? One thing that impresses me about her is that she calls me every single time, like clockwork, when the chickens are ready to go out. She doesn't wait for me to see. She lives right beside me. She doesn't wait for me to see that the chickens are. She calls me. Say, oh, chickens are ready now. Chickens will be ready next week. She says it like she had never said it before. Chickens will be ready next week. Chickens are ready now. She will call. She calls my sister, calls my mom. Guess what? We all buy from her. We all buy from her. No, some people just say, well, he's following me on Instagram. You should see that chickens are ready. You should see that I sell chickens. Can't you see my link? No. Say it like they don't see it. Shamelessly. If you ever bought from Domino's Pizza or any of those places, Domino's or Cold Stone, you see, sometimes when I buy from them, I regret it because they spam my phone with, oh, we now offer this, oh, we now have this. I'm like, oh, these people should just get off my phone. But no matter how you want to say get off your phone, when you go there, you gravitate towards them because they are front of mind. Shamelessly putting their product out there, but they are front of mind. Front of mind. Front of mind. So you still buy from them even though they are annoying you with their messages. They're spamming you. Some of you need to send more emails. Put it out on WhatsApp every single day. Like that was the first day you ever put out that product. Shamelessly. Tag more people. Tag them. Don't think they're too busy. Tag them if you have to. You need to add to your like something. I hope this helps somebody who is an introvert. I'm talking to myself too. I've learned a lot by putting this book out there. And for those of you who want to read this book, I'll put the link in the description. If you're listening to it, please get the book. It's a great book. You should read it. If you like this podcast, you like what you've heard so far, get the book. Get the book. It's a great book. But then that's my advice to the introvert doing business. I hope this helps you going forward in your business. My name is Tola T.A. Alabi, and this is the TA Podcast.